Today on WBTV, we are going to be talking about the mid-chapter update in Dead by Daylight. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so behavior announced.
No, I'm finishing up this piece of liquor. One second.
Okay. Okay, so behavior announced on January 8th that we were coming up to the mid-chapter update of this chapter, Dead by Daylight, which I was actually surprised by, but I guess the twins came out at the beginning of December, so I guess like end of January would be mid-chapter before we get into the next chapter. So we're just going to go through the updates, a lot of updates actually, considering it's a mid-chapter update, a lot of big stuff coming for Dead by Daylight. 2020 was a big year for Dead by Daylight. They actually hit one of the highest amount of people playing the game at the same time since the game was released. When
I think we said this. I think we were speculating this in an earlier video too. We were like, this is going to be one of the biggest years for Dead by, with them getting Silent Hill and from Silent Hill Pyramid Head as a killer, and then graphics update, gameplay changes, crossplay.
Yeah.
It was just a huge year for Dead by already. So
yeah, and then now coming into 2021 with announcements like this,
good start.
It's a good start. So first of all, I would definitely say stay watching this video till the end. But there's a new videos that the developers are doing. It wasn't my favorite, to be honest, but it's Dead by Daylight.
They're called
Dev
Tapes.
Yeah. And they detail basically what it says in the developer update, so you don't have to read it. Not my favorite video. I did watch it. It wasn't my favorite, but if you want to watch it after this, you can go ahead.
I mean, just watch our video instead. We're gonna tell you all about what we're gonna tell you the general topics. We're not gonna get into the specific nitty gritty stuff. Like every single perk. This perk had a 5% increase change.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. We're gonna tell you the general, best stuff. So do we want to start with the biggest thing that's changing in Dead by?
Okay, so first of all, as Blake said, the biggest thing is the HUD update. So we have not seen a HUD update since the release of the game.
Like the start of Dead by, 4 years or 5 years, yeah.
So it makes sense, a lot of the things that they're fixing. So as you can see on the screen here, we no longer have the 4 survivors laid out in the bottom right corner. We now have our item, which is a lot bigger than it was before, and it looks like it actually shows you the control to use that item. So that is cool. The perks are in the exact same spot, located on your left, or I guess it would be your right.
On your right.
Yeah, and then at the very top middle, we now have the amount of gens remaining, which used to be located with the survivor names in the bottom left, as you can see up here. Which I don't know how big of a fan I is, because I think it's smaller, or at least it looks smaller than it was before.
It's a lot simpler as well. Whereas the other one, it was like a massive box. This seems like a little icon and then just the text. The text doesn't even have any borders or anything, right?
Yeah.
But that's really the only downside I see from this, because they added in a killer hook progression, overall how many more hooks you have left to see how well you're doing.
Yeah, well,
and then
what you can see on this top picture here as I'm
Exactly. And then if you look at the bottom picture, they have the exact same thing for survivors, where it shows an overall red meter like it normally would, but just in a cleaner, more simple and condensed fashion. So
yeah, and the other awesome thing, which I don't know how it took them this long to put this in the game, but it actually shows you the picture of the specific survivor that name goes with. So there's no longer guessing, oh, was that person the Claudette, or I'm assuming that person was the Claudette. You can now associate the downed or hooked or whatever survivor with the name, or at the end of the game when you're going, who was that toxic survivor that made me get hooked? You can now associate that person with the name. And I do wonder if this is going to be the same for the endgame screen, because they haven't talked about if they're updating that yet, like the screen where it shows you all the perks, like when you finish. But I would wonder if that's going to be similar to this.
The only thing that the profile picture or the character icons that are flawed with is, as you can see, there's 2 David Kings. So if you have 2 of the same character, they're going to have different skins, and you're not going to exactly be able to tell which is which from the icon. But it's still better than nothing. Yeah. And I think, honestly, finally, from this, the one thing I am most excited about is that they have a feature that you can change the size of all of the HUD and all of the UI. And literally, I was just talking to Wade, I'm like, yeah, when I primarily play on my TV, and when Wade used to play on his TV, it was so hard to see from sitting across the room or sitting on a couch, the icons or whose name was who or what it said. So now if you're playing on a larger TV, you can increase the HUD, or if you're playing on a monitor that you're 2 feet away from, you can decrease the HUD so it's not as much of a taking up as much space and it's not cluttering as much, which I think is really nice. It's good.
Yeah, and that was the main thing that I liked when I switched from when I stopped playing on TV, was the fact that I could actually see things better that I couldn't see on the TV because I was sitting so far away, and there was no option to adjust it. But now you're actually going to be able to see it, which is awesome. The other thing for Survivor point of views, or the Survivor HUD, is that you are going to be able to see ticks on the names displaying how many times that character has been hooked. So there's no longer assumptions on, is this the Claudette's last hook, and you start sprinting towards the hook and then they're dead on hook, and then you get slapped by Noed and you don't get out. So that, I think, is another thing that I don't know why it took them so long to implement that in the game.
See, with the ticks specifically, does it also show on the red bar, there's 3 separate ticks? Or will it show underneath their name 3 separate ticks?
The way that I saw it, it showed above their name. There was 2 ticks.
Oh, okay.
And they lit up red after you've been hooked.
See, I'm just trying to confirm that, because what's it called? With specifically the UI, like before, a problem is that, you never know exactly when the person's going to go into the next stage, or when another survivor is going to go into the next stage.
Oh, that's very true.
It's just kind of one big bar, and at one point, you have to just know, that's halfway, they're about to go into second stage, you have to go, 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 go. You don't know the exact time you have left. So the one thing I hope that they do, or maybe they've chosen to do, is, I can see on the second image that I'm looking at right here, is 1 bar, so maybe each time you're hooked, that bar only counts for that hook stage, and then a new bar will come if you go into the next stage. Or they have 1 big bar, and they have ticks to show the 3 hook progressions. So,
yeah, that definitely does make sense, because sometimes it's hard to judge, especially with second stage. It's hard to judge how much time you have left before to make that happen. Another thing that hasn't changed is Endgame Collapse. So that big bar still shows up on the very top of the screen, right below the 5 gens remaining. Right above the 5 gens remaining. It will show up there, and that will be your Endgame Collapse. So I think that's pretty much it for the HUD. Honestly, I think that, there are some, backlashes, and I do see the backlashes. It's a lot more spread out than it was before.
Yes.
Which is a good and bad thing at the same time. But I definitely feel like it's not as compact.
Yeah, it's not as compact as it used to be, but I think it definitely looks a lot more refined, a lot cleaner. So,
yeah,
I think the pros outweigh the cons here.
Yeah, and just keeping with the fact that they're updating Dead by, making it look so much better. it just helps the fact that it makes the game kind of look like a new, refreshed game, and not like an old game that you're playing from 4 years ago. So continuing Survivor, one of the next big updates is the Survivor animations. So as far as we can tell from this video, they're not completely done, a lot of the animations, because we see running, crouching, there are hits.
Getting hit, getting downed, and then getting back up from being down.
Yeah. And
and also you can now crouch with a flashlight. That's a very big change.
I think that's probably one of the biggest change out of it. I do like the running. I think the one that I like the most is the running well injured. I think that looks a lot more realistic.
100%. Yes.
And then the crawling,
because like every time you pivot or move, you like put your hand back on to like clot the blood basically, and then you turn and then you start running again with your other hand.
Yeah. So, the crazy thing about the hits, or the funny thing about the hits, is the backflips. The backflips. I think we just saw that in the video here when you get smacked by the killer. But that also looks a lot more realistic than what it looks like now, which is definitely good to be adding that into the game.
And instead of just with the getting downed on the ground as well, and just instantly popping back up to standing. Now it actually has an animation where you put your hands down and you press yourself back up to standing. So I think it just... Honestly, this isn't going to change anything gameplay-wise. It's just making the game look nicer.
Yeah, so they did preface that even with running and all the changes that they made with walking. They tried to make it so it wouldn't change anything gameplay-wise. So it shouldn't change like how fast characters are running or anything like that. It's just overall an appearance update, which I definitely think once again fits with the trend of them updating things in Dead by Daylight to make them look better and run better for the future.
Alright, so we're talking about some new Survivor animations and how the HUD would affect survivors, but there are also quite a few killer changes, and specifically the biggest one is for the clown. So firstly, his recharge of his bottles, they brought it down from 5 seconds to 3 seconds to make it a little bit quicker, and he can gain his bottles back from the chase. But they also changed up the bottles and added a new type of bottle. So now he has 2 throwables. If you want to explain what those are, Wade.
Sure.
What the new throwable does.
So before he had his standard tonic bottles, which were purple, and when you got hit with those, they blinded you and they slowed you down. Well, they didn't blind you, they made your vision blurry and they slowed you down. So basically the new bottle is called the Antidote, and it's a yellow bottle, and it does the opposite. So if you run through a tonic and an antidote, they cancel each other out. So what the antidote does is it speeds you up. So the idea behind this is that a poorly thrown antidote bottle will help the survivor and not help the clown, and a properly thrown antidote bottle will help the clown and not the survivors. So, and in addition to this, they're talking about using the antidote to help lure a survivor like into somewhere where there's no pallets, and then you use tonics to block the pallets. So there's no problem with switching between the two. When you like recharge your bottles, you can throw like 2 antidotes and 1 tonic, or like 3 tonics and 1 antidote. Like, it doesn't matter which ones. You don't have to like switch in between the 2. But I don't know how I feel about this. I hate Clown. I hate playing against Clown, and especially the fact that they've made his reload time a lot shorter. That makes me worried about Clown.
And on top of it, now he can throw a slowdown bottle to slow you down to get through a pallet or to get through a window, and then he will also drop a bottle on himself, which will give him a 10% speed increase. So that effectively allows him to close the gap so much more than he normally would.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about a clown running across the middle of a map, spamming antidote bottles, so then he just gets 10% speed increase the whole way across.
But, like, there's quicker killers than that. Like, dealing with the Hillbilly, or dealing with Spirit, or dealing with Nurse or Wraith. Like, a speed increase to move across the map is good, it's strong, but it's not going to be detrimental to survivors.
No.
However, in a chase, I think this could be, like survivors will have to relearn how to loop Clown, or get into a chase with Clown, because he will be a lot quicker in certain scenarios than you might expect. Like, where you think you may be able to make this next window, or you may be able to make this next pallet. He drops Antidote, the new yellow bottle gives him a 10% speed increase, and is able to hit you. And I think maybe this combined with the larger lunge perk as well could be fairly strong. Just thinking initial thoughts. Gives him a slowdown, speed increase, and longer lunge to get you before you can even get to a pallet or window. Could be like a very strong Clown build. So
yeah, and also, like, if you were gonna dead hard away from Clown, and instead of swinging, he drops an antidote bottle and gets a 10% increase, that could make dead hard useless against Clown, or a lot less useful than it would be towards other killers. I mean, honestly, like, you're really gonna have to conserve your dead hard and make sure that you time it perfectly when he's gonna swing, or else it could really be like that could make or break a case right there. Finally, as they said, they've done a pass through all the Clown's add-ons, and they've made a couple new interesting combinations that will work with these with the new antidote bottle. Going along with killer updates, we have two smaller updates. First one, I guess we'll do the simpler one, is the Wraith. So all they've done with Wraith is they've made him completely invisible beyond 24 meters, so that means that you won't see the weird, like, weary kind of smudge thing.
Yeah.
And then in between 24 meters and 16 meters, he will slowly become more visible to the point where within 16 meters, it will be unchanged. It will just be the same that it was before. So this, I feel, might have a larger impact than we expect.
Yes.
Because it
will definitely make him stronger at stealthing and sneaking up survivors.
Yeah.
But I think this is the inverse as Clown. Outside of chases, I think this will be a lot more helpful. But in a chase, or when you're actually interacting with a survivor as Wraith, or as a survivor you're interacting with Wraith and he's chasing you, you can still see the blur. It'll be the same blur and it doesn't change. So, yeah.
Yeah, especially like kicking generators and stuff. For him to be completely invisible beyond 25 meters will make him, like, easy to kick generators away from survivors without them noticing him. And then finally, the Trapper. So this one, I am very happy about, because Trapper's traps were so annoying for the longest time. So previously, you would have a 25% chance to escape a trap each attempt. This sounds good on paper, but as attempts add up, that's only roughly a 68% chance to escape a trap. So this makes traps very unreliable. You either escape the first time instantly, or you're sitting there 14 times later and you can't get out of a trap. So the way they have reworked it is that you will have a maximum of 6 attempts to escape a trap, and it will randomly select either you're going to escape first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, or sixth time when you get stuck in a trap. So the maximum amount of times you can be stuck in a trap is 6 and no more, which I feel like works a lot better.
I don't think that's what they I don't think it's the maximum is 6. After you hit 6, it is almost a guaranteed chance to escape, is what they're saying, because of the gradual increase in chance to escape when you're stuck in a trap.
Yeah, so what they have said is that between 1 and 3 attempts, the chance to escape will be slightly lower than it currently is right now, 4 attempts, the chance to escape will be roughly the same, and then between 5 and 6 attempts, the chance to escape will be a lot higher than it was before. So they say that they're hoping to fix that. Am I going to escape? Am I even going to get there on time moments between trappers and survivors, because traps were extremely unreliable. So this might make Trapper better, maybe?
I see, that's the thing. They've made the first 3 attempts slower, and the next few quicker. So you're not going to have those unlucky bouts where you're sitting there for 10 trap attempts or 12 trap attempts. But since they made it slower at the start and quicker at the end, I think overall it's more reliable, and you will get out of a trap quicker. But I don't think it's going to change anything too big. Like, if the trapper is chasing you and you get caught in a trap, it doesn't change anything. Only if he leaves you on the ground or you get trapped on the opposite side of the map, you'll have a higher chance to escape before the trapper comes to pick you up or find you. So, overall, I think it actually is better for the survivors overall. Yes. But we'll have to see in gameplay when it is fully released.
And all of this will be coming out on the PTV on Monday, so we'll be able to see how these things are going to be applied. Next, quickly, graphics update. So this is one thing that I was actually really disappointed in, because I was really hoping that they were going to do the cornfield, because I thought that was like one of the next large maps for them to do. And, like, the cornfield is one of my favorite maps, and, like, it has the possibility to look so good once they update the cornfield. Because the next, like, they only have cornfield and red forest. They're, like, the 2 large ones with, like, 6 iterations that they have left to update.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, we got Gideon Meat Plant and Crotis Pen Asylum. So, both of these actually look damn good. Especially Pen Asylum.
Is Crotis Pen Asylum... I think that is the Doctor's indoor map, right? Correct?
No, that's the Clown's map.
Oh, this is the Clown's map. Larry's Memorial Doctor's map. Yes, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so... But the other question is, Crotis Pen Asylum is a specific map, but there are 2 maps in that realm, I think?
Yes, there's two different variations.
So the question is, are they doing both variations, or are they only doing the one? But the first picture is from a different variation than the one with the atrium, which is the picture below. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that they mean both variations, but that name is the specific name of one map. I'm pretty sure Pen Asylum is the name of the realm, so... Yeah, those look great. The lighting looks great. Like, the scorch marks on the walls look great.
Yes.
The lighting in the atrium is, like, amazing. So these are supposed to be coming out with the next update. And then the game, folks.
Mm-hmm. My favorite map, Wade's least favorite.
I don't know if it's my least favorite anymore. I'm not sure.
I mean... At least when we play, you always say that, I hate this map sucked. But
I think everybody's least favorite has become Midwich, but yes, the game is not my favorite. Yeah, so the game looks so much better. Like the paint lines on the floor and stuff, the like orange stripe on the walls.
It just looks a lot more open now, I think. Like, it looks a lot taller. It looks a lot more open and spacious, just because they, like, made things a little bit lighter, and they got rid of a lot of useless stuff lying around. So...
Yeah, that was the tough thing about that map for the longest time, was how dark and dingy it was in some spots. Yeah. It was really hard to, like, see.
A lot of times on this map as well, you'd run into dead ends. So I hope instead of having those dead ends there, they at least make those breakable doors, right? So if you run to a dead end, there's a purpose for this dead end, because I don't can't really think of many other maps that just have a dead end you can accidentally run into or walk into. Maybe on Red Forest, but that's the only other example I can really think of.
Yeah, so that's that map update. And then finally, big news. Matchmaking and rank rewards. So, folks, the days of wanting to become a rank 1 survivor are unfortunately coming to a close. So, I'm just going to read exactly what they have written here, because I don't want to get it wrong. But, starting off with some good news. Matchmaking ranks are returning in the near future. So, there has been a large problem with matchmaking. Even we saw this last night while me and Blake were playing. We were getting paired with rank 1 killers when a lot of the people in our lobby were like rank 15, rank 16.
Or rank 17, yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it didn't really make a ton of sense. And then there's also the problem with you can become a rank 1 killer because you're really good at nurse. But then you decide to play as doctor and you suck at doctor and you suffer by deranking in order to get better at doctor. That works more with killers than it does with survivors, because survivors doesn't really matter what survivor you play. You can have the same perk build, but that's the way that works.
That's the thing. On different survivors, you can have different perk builds. Or if someone wants to play survivor and they're just leveling them up for the first time and they don't have their good perks to help them run or play, or they're using different unique perks to a different survivor, you won't be versing the same tier of killers as on your other survivor. So, like Wade said, it's not as big as of a difference for survivor, but as a survivor main, I think it's very nice. It's a nice slice of life kind of change that makes things easier, and it makes me more wanting to play different survivors and try different perk builds, because I'm not going to be tied down, oh, I want to play my best perk build because we're going up against the best killers.
Yeah, exactly. So, starting with the good news, matchmaking rankings are returning in the near future. We have been hard at work tweaking the system since our last test last year, and we are preparing to re-enable skill-based matchmaking for another test soon. So, as far as I understand, skill-based matchmaking is they're going to give you a skill rating based on the specific survivors and the specific killers you play, and then that is what they're going to use for matchmaking. So the days of rank-based matchmaking will no longer be used. This is just, as I said, it's just going back into beta now, so we're not, it's not going to be coming out this update, I don't think. I think it will be released on public servers, this update, but it's not 100% if it's going to be here to stay yet. And then, since they're getting rid of rank-based matchmaking, they have an opportunity to use the rank system as a reward system. So what it is going to be is on the 13th of every month, you will be reset all the way back to rank 20, and then whatever highest rank you make it to in that month period will then determine how much blood points you get. So rank 20, 10,000, gray ranks 10,000, yellow ranks 30,000, green ranks 100,000, purple ranks 150,000, and then rank 4 200,000, rank 3 210,000, rank 2 225,000, and rank 1 250,000. So that is how they're going to use the rank system.
And I think the best thing with this as well is it says the highest rank you have gotten, because once you hit the rank, you can have a trend of very bad games and get kicked out of the rank. But knowing that if you at least hit the rank, you will be getting the rewards is a great thing. And on top of that, since it's the highest rank you achieve, I can be rank 8 on Steve Harrington, rank 13 on Detective Tap, rank 1 on Nia Carlson, and then rank 20 on the rest of my survivors. It's not going to prioritize the lowest or the one you played the most. It's just going to say, oh, this is your highest rank. So,
The thing that I don't like about this is the fact that they are resetting you to 20 at the end of every month. Because you have to friggin' grind Dead by.
That is, actually,
if you're
that
gonna
is,
get
that
from
is fair.
20 all the way down to 1 in a matter of 30 days. That's ridiculous. So I don't see me ever making it. I don't even know. I think I can make it to green, but I don't know. Like, I think it'll be rare if I make it to purple. For more casual players, it's going to be very difficult.
And this is the thing. I think this is actually more of a bad thing if they reset you to rank 20 every month, because now we get into the problem with other matchmaking games and ranked games. Like Overwatch specifically is a game I used to play ranked competitively a lot, or Rocket League. At the very start of the season, normally everyone will get you will lose almost all of your SR. You'll get reset, and you have to you get a net score of no rating. So you go up against people to get your rating, and you do a first 10 placement matches or first 5 placement matches. And in those placement matches, you can verse anyone basically. You can verse people around your rating, people higher rating and better skill than you, and people lower skill than you. So it's very inaccurate, and if everyone gets reset to rank 20 at the end of the month, that means you're still going to have the problem of, oh, I'm a rank 20 survivor, a newbie to the game. Say I just bought the game on the 14th and I know nothing about it. You could be going up against rank 1 killers, rank 1 survivors. So unless they specify that or they change that, I think this could be a big problem.
Yeah, I definitely think that they're going to end up changing that, setting it back to the way that it was, where they send you back, if you're purple ranks, they send you back to green. If you're green, they send you back to yellow, and it was, based on the amount that you played and stuff. I definitely feel like that's a better way to approach it, because then it kind of rewards you for, it rewards more casual gameplay, but more hardcore casual gameplay. I don't play Dead by Daylight a ridiculous amount. I am pretty busy during the week, so I tend to only play it during the weekends. But I play quite a bit during the weekends, so that allows me to rank up. But if I'm only playing 4 weekends, I'm not going to ever get to rank 1 or anywhere near rank 1. So if they set it so I only had to go up 4 ranks instead of 20 ranks, then that would make it a lot easier for rewarding gameplay like that.
And you'll instantly be started in your skill gap.
Yeah.
So that's why I always liked the ranking system in Dead by, where, you're rank 1, you only get reset to 4. You're in purple ranks, you only get reset to green, right? But them changing this, and seemingly, at first, it was this is a good thing. This will make matchmaking better. However, I don't know if that's truly the case, with like I said, being matched up with a rank 20 killer.
Yeah.
Even though they could be rated a rank 1 older, in the old rating, but
yeah. So we'll definitely have to see how. I'll be watching the PTV closely to see how the matchmaking works. I mean, it's hard to watch the PTV for matchmaking because there's not a lot of good.
Not everyone
going on in the PTV.
uses the PTB exactly. A lot of the times the PTB is just, oh hey, I'm going to invite random viewers. It's streamers.
Yeah.
Streamers going onto the PTB, inviting viewers to test out new updates. So
yeah, and it's a lot of people
you're never going to truly get the best game or a real game. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching this episode of WBTV. I hope you guys. I think we covered everything. Yeah. So I hope you guys let us know in the comments down below what you think of all the updates coming to Dead by. Some of them good, some of them not good. We'll have to see what happens. And like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your guy Freshco. And if you couldn't tell, the videos for now are going to be going virtually, but we will hopefully be back in person sometime in the near future. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys on Friday with another Dead by Daylight related video. Thank you guys for watching WBTV. If you want to see more videos like this one, click the video on the right. If you want to see skits, click the video on the left. And make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video.